Hey everyone, this is Mike.
And this is Brian of Fellowship Home Loans.
Many things make us different, but what do our clients say?
We can close your loan in weeks, not months like other lenders. They love our low rates and, of course, our personalized one-on-one approach.
Call us today at 800-804-SAVE or online at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
Welcome to Are You Real Business, providing you with all the tools necessary to be mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared to start and run your own business. Our no-frills, fact-based, reality-driven strategies arm you with the knowledge to overcome the questions, struggles, and pitfalls that all come with new business, and the faith to see it through to the end. Now, please welcome the host of Are You Real Business, Michael McIntyre.
Hello, this is Michael McIntyre with Are You Real Business, baby? Ha! That's right, I said it. Are you excited? I am. I'll try to get you excited anyway, and we'll get you fired up. Hey, I'm going to be talking to you about how to find the authentic you in business. And you can still catch Are You Real with John Fuller every Wednesday on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Who knows where you get that podcast from? Ha! Hey, man, I'm excited about today's topic because we're going to talk about successful leaders, business owners, and entrepreneurs. And it makes a difference. It really does. And what I'm going to talk to you about is, and what I refer to as success, is not only financial success, but it's also spiritual success, family success, physically fit success. All these things tie in. Hey, how many of you seen that movie, Jerry McGuire? You ever seen that movie? Great old movie with Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding Jr. One of the things Cuba Gooding Jr. says in the locker room, he says, "Jerry, I want to have the Quan." And what was the Quan? It was everything. It was spirituality. It was family. It was money. It was recognition. It was acknowledgement. It was the whole ball of wax, right? Well, what do you think helps people get to the Quan or to the sweet spot of their spirituality and their financial success and their relational success and their intimacy with Jesus? Where does it get? How does it get there? One thing I believe in my experience over a long period of time is that all of these great leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs have one thing really in common that really sets them apart. And it's what it is that they are coachable. That's right, coachable. In other words, they can take criticism, constructive criticism, of course, and they can take that and listen to it and analyze it and use it. And the other thing they do with that, because they are coachable, is that they check their ego and their pride. And I want you to know something. That's one of the hardest things for successful entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders to do. It really is. And I'm speaking from experience. That's right, I said it. Listen, it is hard to swallow those prideful things, right? Because we are human. And what makes us successful business owners, salespeople, entrepreneurs, leaders, is that we can stand up and we have somewhat of an ego, and might be an alpha, and we go out there and conquer. And so we do whatever it takes to do so. And so that takes a little gumption sometimes. However, that only lasts a little bit of time. And that could last a year, could last 5 years, maybe 10. But at some point, sometime in that period of time, you are going to need to be coached. So how is it that you, first of all, select the coach, know when you need a coach, and all of the above? So we're going to dive into that a little bit today. And how do you get a life coach, business coach, coach, whatever you call it. I call it business coach, life coach, because, look, the fact of the matter is we all need to be coached. Everybody. I don't care who you are. The President of the United States, he has probably 5 coaches around him daily. You think he sits there in the White House and makes these decisions on his own? No, he takes advice from so many different people. And he has personal coaches too. So it's really important to surround yourself with some good coaches or a coach. But so often, especially in the Christian realm, we have a hard time finding really good coaches. And I had somebody ask me just a couple months ago, said, man, it's really hard to find a good spirit-filled coach, a life coach. And I said, well, you just happened upon one. But it is. And what I tell people to look for when they're choosing a coach is look at the fruit from that coach. Okay? Look at their life. Look at their business. Look at their family. Look at their marriage. Look at their bank accounts. Look at the fruit. Look at their relationship with Jesus, their community, and is there fruit in there? Okay? And if there is, and if they, it doesn't necessarily mean they have to be, on the Forbes 400 list, but it does make sure that they're not, down at the, courthouse filing for bankruptcy. So take a look at their fruit and see if that's if God's providing them if God's really blessing them in their life because they're following the principles, right? So if they are, okay, so you determine, so you seek out a coach. Listen, there's a lot of different ways you can go online and look at different coaching. In your mastermind group, you can ask some of the other people in your mastermind group. And people always say, hey, I've got a mastermind group. Why do I need a coach? Great question. Your mastermind group's very important, but your mastermind group are peers. Generally, they're peers. They're generally the same men or women that are in the same business or they're entrepreneurs, they're leaders, they're business owners, and generally in the same social economical class and in the same stages of life. A good coach, you're going to want to have more experience than you have, has done more than you have, and has been many places more than you have. So a mastermind group is good, but the coaching, you're going to want that person to be above that level and if it's experienced more, not necessarily more financial success, but that helps, but has more wisdom and has more plaques on the wall, okay? They've done more things. Maybe they've started 2 or 3 more businesses. Maybe they've shut down several more businesses. Maybe they made, $100 million, or maybe they, started up different things or authored some books or whatever, have a successful marriage. Anyways, they've done things longer than you have, and they have more wisdom. So that's how I would find a coach. The other thing is to find a coach that you're going to have to pay for. And you think, wait a minute, man, I belong to this great community, this great Christian community, and, there's a lot of people that will mentor me, and they probably will, and it's good. Listen, in my church, I've mentored a lot of people, and I want you to know something, that out of all the people that I've mentored, the only ones that really have done well are the ones that actually paid me to mentor them, to coach them, because they put a value on that, okay? And it doesn't have to be a lot of money, although it can be. I'll give you an example. A real good friend of mine, I think I've shared some of this with you, called me up about 6 months ago, said, listen, I've got a family member that needs to be coached. And this guy that called me up, he's famous in our stream, and he said, I can't really coach a family member, a really good close family friend member. And I totally get it. And he said, listen, this guy is very successful, and he's a really nice man. I've known him, 20-some years. And so I called him up, and I talked to the man and his wife, and we had a preliminary conversation. And so then I called back to my friend. I said, listen, I want to do this, and I want to honor you, and I'm not going to charge them any money. He goes, oh, no. No, he said, listen, McIntyre, you've got to charge them money. In fact, this guy's a millionaire, and he needs to pay a lot of money. And the reason he told me that, because he needed to get value out of that, because so often very successful people, and people who are moderately successful, they're only going to appreciate something if it's going to cost them something. So you got to have skin in the game. So I did. I charged him a lot of money, and he paid me a lot of money for 2 months, and we had a great coaching. We did. It was really intensive, and it was great, and it was very fruitful and beneficial. So how much should you pay for your coach? Well, once you find your coach, once you look at them and find them, okay, there's different ways you can look at it. You can pay them, weekly. You can pay them monthly. And generally, a good coach, if you're in business, knows a little bit about business and is a Christian and same like-minded Christianity as you, and also has some experiences in entrepreneurship, starting out businesses, leading, and so forth. But you could look at anywhere from, $2,500 a month to $10,000 a month, depending on what you need and what you want to pay and what you want to get out of it. And look, I have one individual that very successful business owner, and talk to me. And it's always funny because sometimes they'll keep talking to you to get more coaching out of you before they have to pay. And I understand that aspect, and that's just coming from lack. And so generally it's not going to be a good fit for me anyway. So I usually either if they ask me to coach them, it's going to have to be something that's going to really cost them a lot of money. Not because I want the money, it's because I want them to make sure that they buy in on that. So if you're sitting there on the fence saying, man, I don't want to pay anybody to coach me, man, that's stinking thinking, first of all. Because look, even the best people need to be coached, okay? And you say, why is that? Well, have you ever heard of a guy named Tom Brady? For those of you who don't know, Tom Brady is one of the most successful quarterbacks in the National Football League of all time. Even with Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, all these great quarterbacks, okay? Well, guess what? Tom Brady has a coach. That's right. In fact, the coach coaches him sometimes after every set of downs, after every other play, and on the sidelines during the game. And he pays this coach a great deal of money. And Tom Brady is probably one of the most successful, arguably one of the best quarterbacks that's ever played the National Football League. But he has a coach. In fact, he's had two. Tom Martinez was his first coach. He died, but Tom really brought him out to where he's at. Then Alex Guerrero is still coaching him. And look, it's not easy to him to be coached either. I mean, I think Belichick gets upset about it sometimes. But Tom Brady pays these guys a great deal of money because the fact that he needs that help. You think Tiger Woods doesn't have a coach? Man, they do. All the greats have coaches, the greatest of the greats. It's really important to get that. Carson Wentz, okay, the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, he got hurt. His coach is Peterson. These guys pay a lot of money for these people to come in there and coach them, even at that pinnacle of their career and their statue. It's really important. And if you could pull behind the curtain at some of the major CEOs of Fortune 100 and 500 companies, you're going to see that these people have coaches. And they pay a great deal of money to these coaches because they need that to help them and to get discernment and to get clarity and to have an unbiased and unvarnished opinion about what's going on. So if your business is out there going great, you're making tons of money and things are going great, you need a coach. Okay. And if your business is struggling, if you're having a hard time making these decisions, or you constantly keep coming back to the same problems, you need a coach. If you're struggling in your spirituality, and if you're struggling in dealing with your community, or if you've got a situation with somebody at church or in your community or your family, you need a coach. Now, coach is not necessarily and is not a psychiatrist. This coach is to coach you through the situations in life, in business, in entrepreneurship, in leadership, in your spirituality, and sometimes it touches into your marriage, it touches in with your family aspects, with your children and other things, and they can offer wise, sage advice because they're experienced and they have fruit in their life. And sometimes they can refer you to other professionals that might be able to help you as well.
We get asked all the time, why Fellowship Home Loans? What makes us different? Hey everyone, this is Mike.
And this is Brian of Fellowship Home Loans.
Many things make us different, but what do our clients say?
We can close your loan in weeks, not months like other lenders. They love our low rates and, of course, our personalized one-on-one approach. And always, our clients get 2 months off from their mortgage payments and $1,000 back at closing.
Our motto itself, mortgage lending guided by Christian principles. Call us today at 800-804-SAVE or online at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
Listen, this is nothing new. Okay, it really isn't. David in Samuel 1, he had a really good friend named Jonathan, and they were tied at the soul, right? They really respected each other. And Jonathan was a great friend and looked out for David and was kind of coaching him through the situation, especially when Saul is trying to kill him. So that's a great coach. Hey, look at Moses. Moses had his father-in-law, who was a godly man, and Jethro, and Moses respected him and took good coaching advice from him. The Bible says Jethro was a godly man of integrity who played a small part in God's great story of deliverance for the Israelites. He's a great role model for in-laws. He offered wise counsel, stepped in to help when needed, and then got out of the way. I love that. He got out of the way. Because one of the things that I've learned as a coach, as a business coach, an entrepreneur coach, and a life coach, is that you've got to, I'm not going to coach anybody for longer than 3 months. And then I'll give them a break. And if they want to come back, then I want them to have at least a 30-day break, because I don't want them to be dependent on me or dependent on their coach, because you got to step away. You got to take the training wheels off. Does that make sense? Good. I'm glad you're following along. So anyways, and so if you're out there thinking, man, I want to get a coach, but I don't have the money to get a coach. Really? Okay. And maybe you don't. All right. And maybe you're just starting out. You have no cash flow at all. But look, find somebody that you want, that you respect, that you look up to, that doesn't have a personal relationship with you. And that's really important. Like my friend called me and says, I want you to coach this family member. You can't really coach anybody that you're emotionally attached to. So if you are a coach, you know this. If you want to get a coach, look for this, pray about this, ask God to highlight somebody for you. People say all the time, can I be your coach? Can you be my coach, McIntyre? Yeah, I do that. I do coaching. And so, and I really enjoy doing it. It brings life to me, and I enjoy helping out other people reach their goal in whatever aspects that might be. So if you want to look at coaching, or if you need some advice on trying to find a coach, listen, just go to areyoureal.org, okay? And in the About Me section, and you can find my picture there, and shoot me an email, shoot me a text, and or just, send me a PM on Facebook, and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. But one of the things in coaching, if you do contract a coach and you want to go out there and make a difference, have specific goals on what you want to reach. Not just that, hey, I want to make $1 million. All right, great. Who doesn't? But let's reverse engineer that. Let's see where you're at. And so what I generally do is when somebody wants me to coach, which I'm fixing to start coaching somebody on Monday, which I'm excited about because this guy is a big deal in the music industry. And so it's really exciting for me. But what I do is I send out, I wanted to get an accomplishment letter from them. What do they want to accomplish in this 6 weeks or this 8 weeks of coaching? What is it that they want to do? Where is it that they've been? And where do you want to go? And why do you want to go there? So, and then we're going to set up coaching calls, and we're going to have other things, and we're going to have stretches. And it's like I tell everybody, listen, if I'm going to coach you, you need to really you need to lean in deep, man. You need to really lean in forward because the wind's going to be blowing back at you. That's because I don't want you to leave my coaching thinking, man, I just didn't give it all, because I want you to give 100% of the time. That way you reap so much fruit. Listen, it's just like in vines, right? I've learned this about vines, especially in wine, which I'm not a big wine connoisseur, but I enjoy a glass of wine. But the more you stress the vines, the sweeter the grape. So the more you get stressed in your coaching, the more fruit's going to bear, and it's going to be sweet fruit. It's going to be beneficial fruit. So I do push people. I do. But that's where the juice is. That's where the sweetest fruit is, when you get pushed. And if you're not up for that, if that's not your thing, if you say, man, I'm just not ready for that, great. Then you're not ready to be coached. The most successful people I know are coachable. And that's such a huge thing. You really got to check your ego. You got to check your pride so you can cash that big check. You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. So, anyways, I want you to know that you are coachable. If you're listening to this podcast, you're very coachable because you're trying to better yourself in whatever way. Biblically, business-wise, financially, relational. I mean, the great thing that John Fuller and Casey Fuller have put together here on this podcast is these 5 different extraordinary people. We just had a conference at Sean Bowles' conference here in Dallas at the Gaylord Texan, and it was great. John got to host the event, which was really awesome. And we had 1,500 people in there, and they were all really amazing people. And look, they were of all different backgrounds, but one thing they wanted to hear from the word of the Lord. And that's because they were laying down their life for the Lord and saying, I want to hear from you, God. I'm going to submit under your authority. And that's what you have to look at in the natural with a life business coach. You have to submit. And if you're not ready to submit to that coaching, then maybe you're not ready to submit to taking your business to the next level, taking it from $300,000 a year to $3 million a year. Maybe you don't want to do that because there's a price to pay, friends. There really is. And it's not for everybody. So at any rate, I know I've talked a lot about coaching, but I think I did some videos, some vlogs this week, and we were talking about business coaching, and I think it was really appropriate to do so. And I think life coaching is really one of the keys to your success in your business as an entrepreneur and as a leader. So get a coach. They're out there. They are available. They truly are. And if you want me to coach you, I'll be glad to. It's expensive, but let me just tell you this. It's worth it. I promise you. Just check us out at areyoureal.org in the About Me section, and just send me an email or what have you, and I'll be glad to set up a conference call with you, and we will go from there, and we'll come up with a amicable coaching fee. But until then, listen, remember this, okay? And people always ask me, says, is Jesus first in your business? Jesus is first in everything. Jesus has to be first in your bedroom, in your business, in your family, at your community, in your church, in your worship. Jesus is everything. The name above all names, above all things, above all money, above all opportunities, everything. It's all about Jesus, 100% of the time. And when you have that, then you're all set. Now you can go forward. Okay, everything else is secondary, a distant secondary as well. So I want you to have a great week. I want you to remember this. Remember your affirmations. If you're not doing your affirmations, write down 10 positive affirmations. It's one of the things I do when I'm coaching somebody. And we get deep into that affirmation stuff. We really do. It's really good. Because as a man thinketh, as a man is. And that's what I want you to create in our coaching, in the coaching that I do. We really come in there and we do a hard wire, and we really reset this paradigm shift for you. You can look at things differently, more effectively, more efficiently, more prosperity, and more spiritually. It's awesome. That's right, I said it. I like to brag about it because it works, baby. I've created 175 millionaires out there over my business career, and it wasn't easy. And look, it's not easy to be a millionaire. It's not. It's not easy to have a full-time relationship with Jesus. It's not. You have to sacrifice. You have to die to yourself sometimes, a lot of times. But if that's what you want to do, then I'm your ticket. All right, let's have a great week. And remember, everybody, and I mean everybody, deserves your very best presentation. And so thank you for hanging on with my show. Thank you for today listening all through here. And we've got new episodes coming out every Wednesday through your favorite podcast application. So check it out and have a blessed day. And remember, everybody deserves your very best presentation.
We get asked all the time, why Fellowship Home Loans? What makes us different? Hey everyone, this is Mike.
And this is Brian of Fellowship Home Loans.
Many things make us different, but what do our clients say?
We can close your loan in weeks, not months like other lenders. They love our low rates and, of course, our personalized one-on-one approach. And always, our clients get 2 months off from their mortgage payments and $1,000 back at closing.
Our motto itself, mortgage lending guided by Christian principles. Call us today at 800-804-SAVE or online at fellowshiphomeloans.com.
That's all for this episode of Are You Real Business? For more resources as well as specialized e-courses, next-level training programs, videos, and exclusive content, visit us at areyoureal.org. We appreciate you joining us and look forward to having you back for the next episode of Are You Real Business? Take care.